What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be speaking about the elements of fire. You see, fire is the most important. Got Rod shining on me right now. See, fire, everything comes from fire, right? And we all know this because every creation story starts off with what? Earth being only fire, right? Only sunlight. Only too much of it gets everything burned up and turned into lava, right? And within the space of what you would call Earth, right? But within that, within so much heat and everything that created, right, the moisture from the heat allowed Earth to create water. So fire is the initiating aspect or the masculine aspect, or number one, because it was the first one that's created. That's why one is also symbolic to masculine energy, and one also looks like what? The phallus, right? It's all one, right? It all makes sense. And see, from the fire created the moisture for which water was able to develop. Now water comes into play, and water is the second element, right? That's why water is also symbolic to number two. Second element, number two. Now that the water was created out from the fire, now it was able to have this magnetic energy because the electric is what initiated it, and now it was able to create a magnetic current from the electricity from it. So now you have masculine and feminine energies into play, or electric and magnetic energies. And through this magnetic and electric energies, now we have every other element that comes into play. Now, from fire creating from this water, and the water now was able to create the space that we live in. You see, everything is made up of water. Everything you look at is made up of water. If nothing was made up of water, it would be dried up and wouldn't exist. But the fact that it exists is because it has water, right? So, being that said, heat created the water, and the water created the space for which we live in. And now life comes into play. Now manifestations of life come into play. Now we create a realm, right? That's why, just like a baby, right, is sitting in water the whole time, right? That's the same thing with our growth and development as living beings. We was first once in a dense form of water, and once out of the water, we came into the air. And I'm gonna get, and that's also makes sense too, because if you think of it like this, right? The air didn't was is not one of the two elements, because what happens was, once the space was created, it was a dense form of what? Water, right? And how you get air is from, just like you put water in a pot and you boil that water. When you boil that water, guess what? Now it precipitates into what? Air, or a higher frequency. It's still water, but now it's at a higher frequency, and it goes into infinity, higher and higher density levels. So once it created that water, now the water was able to precipitate into higher frequencies of space, right? For which, that's why you have water that you see, that you can drink from, that your body needs, and you also live in a realm of water too, but it's at a higher frequency. It's once all the water that you see got precipitated and created the air that we live in, and now it's a realm as well. That's why water is space. Water is synonymous to space. So now that we live in this realm, right? And also that's why water is synonymous to soul, because soul is connected to everything, right? That's why when you have oneness within yourself, you connect with your soul, right? Because soul is oneness. Soul is the oneness between us all, because everything is one, and one is everything. So now that we got water and air, water and fire is what creates the air, right? That's why you have everything in existence, and everything is the way it is. And both, one is ascending energy, and the second, or number two, is descending energy, or more of like a cooling aspect.